Public to take extra precaution during the dry season as they have indicated that the air quality in the capital has reached critical levels and unsafe. This follows the Environmental Protection Agency's air quality index exceeding 100 over the past days. There is more in this report filed by Citi News and Sheliziu.
The increase in the intensity of the harmattan has resulted in very dusty weather conditions across the country, confirmed by the Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) and the Meteorological Agency. This has caused the air quality in Accra to reach hazardous level, according to the Air Monitoring Index. The report indicates that the current air quality index stands at 192 as of 9th February 2024, with the main particles being fine particle matter or PM2.5. According to the data, PM2.5 concentration in Accra has exceeded the annual air quality guideline value of the World Health Organization (WHO). PM2.5 refers to particles found in the air, including dust, dirt, smoke, and liquid droplets within a diameter of 2.5. These particles are so small they can get deep into the lungs and into the bloodstream and cause havoc to one's organs.
We actually have different scales or ranges for the air quality, and it ranges from good to hazardous. We hear of the very unhealthy and hazardous index somewhere December towards February before March, and that is when we actually enter into the harmattan. So from January to December, there's already pollution happening in the atmosphere, and that happens from fumes of cars, even burning of tires and all those burning of waste, emissions from industries. They are all contributing to the pollutants in the atmosphere. But during the dry season, these pollutants get compounded by the intrusion of the dust into the atmosphere. And so you get high concentration of the particulate matter that leads to the poor air quality index. So the dust is just a seasonal pollutant that comes. But throughout the year, we have the general pollutants that we see in the country. The only thing is that the pollution that these pollutants bring on the whole, in the whole year, is not as high as what we get during the dry season. That is why we make a lot of noise about air quality during the dry season.
Due to the damaging effects of pollution exposure on vulnerable members of the society, possibly leading to increased respiratory conditions, the Ghana Health Service has advised the public to wear nose masks outdoors, among other safety precautions.
They are great, and we have times where we put it in colors, where it is a great day to go out because it's clear. We also have from green all the way to the purple. Purple is hazardous, which means that you need to be careful because of the air quality. And so some of the advice we are giving is where is the quality is high, it's poor and hazardous or maybe bad, we ask that you wear mask. Maybe your outdoor events are shorter than before. We also advise that those who are doing exercises, because you are going to hyperventilate because you are exercising outdoors, you may want to reduce it because you then inhale more of the dust. So what I think is dry, and so the more you drink water, the better you are, because otherwise with the dryness you have cracked lips. You even have some of the parts of the throat cracking, and that allows some bacteria and viruses to get in. So more water is important to keep yourself hydrated, because once the humidity is high, it means that you're going to lose more fluids from your body. Visibility is poor in the morning, so drivers should be very careful so that we can avoid road traffic accidents. We have a draft guidelines that we feel that because this is becoming rampant, we need to come up with a guideline that will guide all of us, especially school children, to ensure that we are protected from these things in the period that is there. So we are working with them, EPA, and we are also going to engage Metro Meteo to ensure that we are able to forecast and also see how we can prevent these things. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Meteorological Agency has forecasted widespread dust haze and dryness across the capital until the end of February.
Harmattan in southern Ghana is a bit shorter than the northern portions. If you move to northern Ghana, it starts somewhere around November and persists until somewhere in March before they go out. Sometimes it even extends into the early parts of April before they go into the rainy season. But for us in the south, usually you get to around December, and then by January it will start subsiding. February will still get some dryness, but it will be a transition from the dry period into the rainy season. But in recent years, especially just last year and this year, we've seen some variations in what we know to be the period for the harmattan. The duration itself has not really changed. It's still from December to February. But then when the harmattan becomes intense, and then you're even getting rainfall even in January. Yeah. And so it sort of creates the impression that the harmattan has even ended. Last year we had similar thing. When it was raining in January, people thought that it was the start of the rainy season, and so some even went ahead to grow their crops, so plants and all of that, and they were in a mess because of that. And we are seeing similar thing this year as well. But the forecast is that latest by mid-February to end of February, we'll see a significant subsidence in this dryness over southern Ghana.
He also mentioned that the situation can only be remedied by government's policies targeted at major contributors like vehicles and industrial emissions.
Well, so when it comes to dealing with these pollutants, it's not more of an individual activity. It's more of a national activity. We will need policies to guide us on what we should do to be able to reduce the pollutants that we get. If we are ready and we can move into electric cars, that would be very, very good, because then we reduce the fumes from the exhausts that are going into the atmosphere. Even road construction is also a major problem, because we are also introducing a lot of dust into the atmosphere. Around this time, if you go into any road construction, there's a lot of dust that is stirred up and then also contributing to the pollutants in the atmosphere. So probably maybe you have a policy that if you want to engage in road construction during this time, you'd have to add watering of the area as well and force people to do it, so that we don't just introduce the pollutants in the atmosphere just like that.
A section of the public have been sharing their views on the situation.
It should be mandatory for everyone to wear it. Even the harmattan season, the dust is too much, so it will help the children too. You know, the weather is not good, so I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
I don't like the nose masks too. I won't approve to it with the wearing of nose masks. Besides, the weather I see it to be normal, because if you are in Ghana, the sun is scorching too, so you wearing a nose mask is going to bring heat. So yeah, I'll wear it if it's mandatory, but then if I'm in my personal place, I'll take it off.
Stakeholders in the health and environmental sector have advised the public to take extra precaution during the dry season, as they have already indicated that the air quality in the capital is unhealthy. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Anshirley Ziwu.